What's up, everybody? Brian France here with you today. A new the internet marketing plan for 2023 for mortgage brokers. Let's see. Go to present mode here. There we go. So let me know if you can hear me and see me. That'll be great. Pop open the chat. Welcome, everybody. I see a number of you already in here. How are you? Brian here, Mortgage Broker Marketing. Welcome. Drop a one in chat real quick if you can hear me and see me. See a few of you in there. I'll start calling people out. All right. Thank you. I see that. Let me make sure I have the right chat box open. All right, cool. So today, your 2023 internet marketing plan. We're going to look at, setting some goals, looking at some of the channels that you should be tapping into in the new year, and how to set yourself up for success in these areas. So that's what the first step here. We're going to review some goals. We're going to, how many leads are you going to need to hit your revenue target, right? We're going to set a yearly target, and then we're going to look at, okay, how many leads do I need to get this many closings per month, and all that fun stuff. So we're also going to take a look at the 3 fundamentals to your internet marketing success, right? What those are, how to optimize your website, to convert at a really high level for 2023, and the online marketing channels that you should be tapping into. We're going to develop a custom action plan. We're going to get you to take some action. This is not just me presenting. I want some interaction from you guys. So please, we sent out a workbook. If you did not get it, I'll put that in chat here. See if I can copy that. Here, that's the short link. If you go mortgagebrokermarketing.com/2023-workbook, it'll take you to, but I'll put it into chat where that leads to. That'll open up that PDF. And yeah, we'll be on our way. Let me know if anyone has trouble with that. But so who am I and why you should listen to me? My name is Brian France. I'm the owner and founder of Mortgage Broker Marketing. We've been working with mortgage companies since 2013. Our first company was founded in 2012. At that time, we were working with everyone. Joined B&I groups, met our first mortgage client there. And by the end of 2016, we had 3 mortgage clients in 3 different markets. And that's when we chose to open up Mortgage Broker Marketing. So things I'm going to be sharing with you today are not based on theory or some book I read. It's actually working with mortgage companies. We have dozens of clients out there from coast to coast, and that's all we do. That's all we do ever since the start of 2017 until today. This is what we do, and so happy to have you guys here joining me today. So turn off Facebook, cell phones. The next 60 to 90 minutes will be impactful, I promise. So I always like to start these off with a question, right? So what's the hardest part about marketing your mortgage company, your mortgage brokerage online, right? So there are so many different options, right? You got pay-per-click, you got SEO, you got Google Maps, you got your website, all these different things. Where do you spend, right? What do you invest in first? What's going to have the biggest impact, right? So if you look, there's so many different things that you have to consider, right? Your website, right? Is that set up for conversion? SEO, is your website set up for SEO? Are you doing things off your website to help with your SEO? Your Google ads, right? Retargeting. There's paid online directories. Like, where should you be tapping into, and in what order? Right. So there's a major investment in marketing, and if there's not a lot to show for it, right, that's failure. Right. So you have to have a clear plan, right? So a clear plan is the wind in your sails, right? The targets, clear KPIs, right? You want to be able to generate enough leads to hit those targets, to hit those goals, keep your business booming, have a great return on your investment, right? And that's going to be success. So the first step here is setting some goals. So if everyone pops open that workbook, did everyone get that workbook open? I think it's on page 5 or 6. To open it to that. But love this quote here from Brian Tracy, his book Goals. He mentioned success is goals, all else is commentary, right? And so that really stuck with me, right? It's if you don't have a clear target, a clear goal, it's like being out to sea with no direction, right? So the clear goals are like the wind in your sails, right? All else is commentary, right? If you don't have clear goals, right, you'll wind up chasing your tail, right? And astray. And so I love this study here from Harvard, right? In 1979, they interviewed some grads. 84% set no specific goals, right? 13% had goals, but they did not write those goals down. And 3% had clear written goals and plans to accomplish them, right? So the results, 13% of the class who set goals but didn't write them down, they were earning on average twice as much as the 84% that didn't have any goals. And the 3% who had clear written goals were earning on average 10 times as much as the other 97% put together. So obviously it is worth your time to take some goals, stop. You want to also have some stopping points, some checkpoints, right? You want to have yearly targets, quarterly targets, monthly goals, right? And a stopping point at each one of these, right? Each month, each quarter, and each year, right? To review and reflect on that quarter. So what are your goals for 2023, right? So what is your revenue target? Someone put in there in the chat what their revenue target is for 2023, right? By the end of December 2023, where do you want to be, right? Bob, David, Mike, Patty, someone put in chat what, there's 12 more here. I'm just confirming everyone can hear me, right? Not seeing, maybe I have the wrong chat. And again, guys, this presentation would be a lot better if there is some interaction. So please, if everyone can hear me, type a 1 in chat, raise your hand, do something. But what is your revenue target, right? What is your how much is that monthly, right? And what is your average loan size? Like what's your average commission there? And how many calls would that require, right? So if your revenue target's 1 million, right? And if you break that down, right, divided by 12, that's 83,000, right? A month, right? So if your average transaction value, right? If your average commission is 3,000, say, how many loans will that require? Sure, my chat is disabled. I see. Wonder why my chat is disabled. Well, I'm sorry about that. No wonder. I saw some hands raised earlier, so I was like, okay, good. People can hear me. But so going out, if we look at this again, what is your annual revenue target for 2023? Jot that down, put that down in the workbook, divide that by 12, right? That's what your monthly target is. And then what's your average commission, And then how many loans will that require? Right. So do that math real quick. I'll give you 1 minute. Maybe while I do that, I'll try to figure out why I can find the settings here. I don't want to dig into and get lost here for too long, but so I'll give you guys a minute here. What is your annual revenue target? How much is that monthly? And raise your hand. I know that was working. Raise your hand if you guys are done, if you guys are ready to move on. Mike, awesome. It appears the questions are working. If you want to drop it into the questions area, and feel free, hit those questions. If you have any questions, drop your annual revenue target in there. Hopefully you wrote this down. Obviously that is your best foot forward, right? That's going to set that target and be really clear. So yes. So how many leads will you need? So in order to figure this out, right, we need to know the average conversion rate from caller to closed loan, right? What is your average conversion rate when someone calls and you close a loan, right? I'm sure it's a lot different if you're doing some online leads, if you're getting a lot of referrals, right? Those numbers are going to be pretty different, right? So sure, the referrals, right? You close those, or you move forward with those people a lot better than online leads, right? Those take a lot more work. And so say your average conversion rate, right? If we looked at a company that's doing some online leads and getting a lot of referrals, right? Might be around 55%, right? From caller to closed loan. And so what you want to do is you want to multiply that call target by your conversion rate. 27 times 55%, 49 leads, right? Is what we would come up with. We would need 49 leads a month if we wanted to hit that 1 million mark, right? So is that clear? Does that make sense for everyone? Everyone can do that math real quick. Raise your hand if that makes sense. That seems to work. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So what is your goal for 2023? And how many leads will you? Who did that math? Who did that math? Put your hand up. Let me know if that made sense, if everyone's got their target and their goals. Awesome. Thank you. And I saw some from Patty, some from Mike, some from Sherry. Awesome job. So the next thing we can look at, everyone clear on that? Should I back up? If you want me to back up, let me know. Drop a question in there, and we can review that again. In the workbook, you could jot this down as well. But yeah, we want to start to move forward. Look at your message, right? If we look at the fundamentals here, right? The market, right, is who do we advertise to? Who is our ideal client, right? Who is our customer avatar? Then we can look at the message, right? And then from there, then we can look at the media, how we're going to get in front of them. Right. So who is your ideal customer? Has anyone done this? Has anyone worked out like their ideal customer? Or raise the hand again, because I know the chat's not working. Raise a hand if you have done this. Awesome. Good work. So look at their demographic, like who is your audience? Like who is your ideal customer, right? Who are they? Where do they work? How much money do they make, right? What are some of their pains and frustrations, right? Their fears, their goals, right? What do they desire? What fears may they have, right? Because if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, then you can sell what Joe Jones buys. So let's craft your message. That's the next step here, right? Why should, and this is in the workbook as well, why should someone choose to do business with you versus the competition, right? What is what sets you apart from your competitors, the people in your market, right? Who, like, why should someone choose to do business with you? Might be like, hey, you never have to resubmit paperwork, right? Is that a pain for some clients if they have to continue to upload paperwork or submit paperwork? And are you using online tools for people, like, to connect their for their loan applications, right? They're all the signatures online. Do you make it easy for people, or do they have to, print and download things? Right. These are this will separate you from some of your competition, right? If they're using outdated softwares, and right there, you can run your business from your phone, right? There's tools out there that will allow you to do that. You don't have to get back to the office when you're out to lunch and you got someone trying to do something. We have clients that are able, they could be on vacation and take a loan. So what benefits do you offer that your target avatar, your customer avatar will resonate with, right? Sure, a lot of you have a lot of experience. You've been doing this a long time. So what are the benefits? Can someone put that in a question? Why should someone choose to do business with you versus competition? What benefits does your target avatar what benefits do you offer that your target avatar will resonate with? I know a lot of our clients that being able to take care of everything online is a big plus. So that makes sense. Everyone's still with me? Raise your hand if any questions. Scroll down here, make sure everyone. Just to double check, raise your hand if that makes sense. Is anyone stuck? Perfect. Awesome. Good work. Let me go click back in there. So what is your message? Jot that down, right? Write it, put it in the questions and answers there. Now we can look at the media, right? So the first thing, right, is your website. That question, is your website set up for conversion, right? To convert. And a conversion, I mean, being a phone call or a form being filled out on your website, right? So if you think about it, your website is the hub of all your marketing efforts, right? Even people referred to you, there's studies out there, 9 out of 10 times someone referred to your business is going to Google, right? They're going to search you up and they're going to end up on your website. And so your website's ability to convert is very important, right? Mission critical. And so is your website set up to convert visitors to callers? Is there a clear action plan, right? And if we look here, if some of our clients here, if we look at this last year, I took some numbers from one of our clients, from first-time callers, right? We're looking at 500 from his Google listing, but almost 400 calls came from the website. So it generated 400 calls in the last year. And then the pay-per-click ad there, 307, right? So there's a lot of factors. And so what are some of those things, right? Another client here, 460 and 248 calls came in this year. And so some of the factors that you want to pay attention to, right, is when you go to your website, you pull up your website. Let's pull that up right now, actually, if you have your other tab open next to that workbook. Pull up your website and look at some of the conversion elements, right? If before you scroll, when you land on your website, before you scroll, everything you see, that's not what you see is known as above the fold, right? If you think back to the newspaper days, that those newsstands, right, with the news, that top story, that headline had to sell the passerbys. Right? If it didn't, it had to grab their attention. And think of this when someone comes to your website, right? There's going to be some subconscious questions going on in a visitor's mind, right? They're going to be asking, like, am I in the right place? Is this someone I can trust? Right? So how do we accomplish that? And in the design, you want to think of that, right? You always want to have that top right corner, a nice big phone number, call to action, some trust icons before they scroll, right? Some people are ready to take action. So phone number, boom, clear call to action. So pull it up. What do you think needs to be tweaked, right? We'll look at some of these things here. Does it speak to your target avatar, right? Does it address their fears and implications, speak to why they should choose you, right? Is there a video maybe welcoming them, right? That's going to resonate with people, right? If they can see you, they can hear you, they are going to that's going to build a lot of trust. And that's the other, does your website have authentic, real imagery, or is it using stock photos, right? Whose website's got a bunch of stock photos on it? Put your hands up. That is not going to be the best use for get some pictures taken of your team, you smiling back at them, welcoming them to the website. That's going to go a long way, right? It's going to separate you from the others in your market. And does it include video elements? I mean, have you thought about having a website welcome video right on that homepage? Have you thought about, a video for each one of the loan options? Imagine someone, lands on your jumbo page. They just did a search online, landed on that page, and you have a video talking about the jumbo loan program or the VA loan program, right? That will build a lot of trust, right? People would have a lot of confidence from that. Are you showcasing online reviews? Are you making it easy for people to get in touch with you, right? The basics, phone number, top right, clear calls to action before you scroll, trust symbols, right? You can borrow some credibility from, if you have a ton of reviews on Yelp, use their Yelp logo, stars, link it back to the review. Same with Google, Better Business Bureau, right? You can borrow the credibility from these, and trust will be built there. And the calls to action on every page, right? You want to speak, if someone's on the VA loan page, right? The call to action should mention the VA loan rate quote, or, VA loan, today's VA loan rates, or something like that. So it just, there's a lot, it's AdSense is what they call it, right? They're typing something in, they land on the page, and it's talking to them about what they just typed in. That's going to perform a lot better. And so the biggest issue here is unconverted leads, right? The biggest issue facing mortgage companies, right? Tons of people, you'll get a lot of visitors, many of them won't take action, right? So they leave unconverted. 90% of them, 90% of the web forms, the funnels, they fail to convert. And why is that, right? So here's why. Leads that are not followed up with within 15 minutes go cold. 2 years ago, before we put this in place, we would generate a bunch of leads for our clients, right? In a number of different channels, send them over to them. And then, at the end of the month, be like, oh, okay, how did they do? Well, they had a very tough time getting in touch with these people, because when the leads came in, right, they were in the middle of things, right? They got back to them an hour, 2 hours later, maybe the next day. And the likelihood of them getting back in touch with that person just really diminished, right? What we put in place was some automation, right? And if we look at these other two, the average customer must be followed up with 5 to 7 times before a sale is made, right? Everyone knows this, right? How many times are you following up with a lead, right? Or do you once, twice, 3 times? That's what most people do, right? But most sales are made in the 6th, 7th, 8th touch. So do you have some automation put in place to follow up with people? There's technology out there. When someone hits your website, you can follow up with them immediately. And so the other thing is today's consumer, right? I think there's a lot of millennials coming into the market, and they prefer two-way text, right? They prefer text versus phone or email, right? I sometimes like to call, but I also could do things by text. So so the marketing automation, right? We put this in place for our clients 2 years ago. And what goes on, right? Someone, they just did a search, they land on our client's website, they fill out a form. Within 1 minute, we sent them an email with an application link, a link to a calendar, and 2 text messages, right? So the 2 text messages will get a response, right? One of those one of the text messages is generated to or is designed to elicit a response. And so what we were finding is that a lot of the people that are responding to that initial text message, they're like, hey, yeah, I'm at work. Can you text? That'd be great. So imagine trying to call that person back 2 hours later. They're back at work. That's going to be very difficult, right? So kind of the idea here, strike when the iron's hot, right? Within minutes, automate, and you want to automate this process, right? You can automate this. Think about like how they're going to be followed up with in that first 5, 7, 8 touches, right? And you want to give them the option to engage via two-way text. And if you look at the math, right? If we had 100 leads, and the conversion rate, say, was 30%, and there's no follow-ups, so you got 30 loans closed. Average that would be 90,000, right? If the average conversion, average commission's 3,000, right? You'd end up with 90,000. So if you put some automated follow-up in place, right, now the conversion rate goes up to 70%, right? You'd be looking at a much different outcome, right? 210,000 compared to the 90,000, right? So does that make sense? Does everyone get that? Raise your hand, drop a question if everyone's still with me. Awesome. Thank you. Perfect. So it makes every lead that you generate much more valuable, right? So let's implement this in your business, right? What are the 3 conversion items that you will implement? Is it adding some authentic imagery? Do you have a photographer? Get some photos taken. Do you have a clear call to action? Is it speaking to your customer avatar? Do you have some reviews on every single page? What are those trust symbols that you're using in your website, throughout your website, to build trust with your audience, with your visitors? And so jot that down. What did you learn? What did you notice? What would you like to share? And so I can't really see this. I wanted to look at some of the KPIs of some of the opt-ins here that we have for some of our funnels. Many of these we don't use on our sites. We build them, but we use them in not typically on the site. Like the VA page has the hybrid funnel, the jumbo has the hybrid, but you can see, you can track like how many people came in, how many unique visitors, and how many opt-ins came out of it, right? So 18%, this one's 16, this one's 24, this one's 47%, 66%. And yeah, too fast there. And some of the other KPIs or key performance indicators, right, that you want to keep tabs on, right? Or how many calls are you getting? How many lead forms are being submitted every single month? And do you have a mechanism to track that? Like in our CRM, we track this for all of our clients, like all the calls, all these lead forms, we have the stats on them. And then there's from your Google My Business dashboard, you can keep track of see how progress is being made, right? With your SEO, say, right? Are we more visible, right? Are we in front of thousands of people? Or are we in front of hundreds, right? This will give you a clear indication of how you're doing. So far, we've set a clear goal, target. We got some clarity around the market, the message, and the media. We made sure your website is set up and optimized for conversion. And it's KPI tracking, right? How is that being done? Maybe you are doing this, maybe you're not. If you're not, we should talk and get clear. And this is, guys, this is what we do. I'm not here to pitch you guys. I'm offering this. This is what we see helps our clients. If you want to see what it's like working with us, I'd be happy to show you. mortgagebrokermarketing.com/schedule. And you know, we're going to show you what we do for our clients and see if that is a fit for you. So your plan for 2023, right, is done here. Here's some case studies. You can see this is a client. He's been with us since 2018, and he's been ranking really, really well. And every single month, right, he gets, this is what we did for him, right? We set up a website, optimize it for conversion, right, and SEO. But the main thing is now people come to the website, people that are even referred to him, right, are know what to do. We optimize his Google Maps, right? We did SEO so that website starts to rank higher. And we focused on building an online reputation. And so the calls here, this is an older screenshot, but this is consistent every single month. Jump on a call with us. I'll show you 2 years ago, 3 years ago, every single month we get calls from first-time callers. People are calling, they're doing searches for mortgages, right? People are coming to you guys a lot more first than they used to, right? They don't need a realtor. They're constantly seeing messaging around getting pre-approved, right? Know how much you can afford, right? So they're starting to understand that they need the financing lined up before they find the house, right? And so they're doing searches for mortgages, right? They're asking questions. They're going to Google. They're asking questions. They're going to, like, how much home can I afford, right? Do you have a page on your website that talks about that, some content, so you can show up and someone has that search, right, with a calculator. But yeah, we tracked 87 leads for this client that month, spent $2,023 a lead is what everything broke down to. Another client here, we tracked 162 leads for him that month, right? 5,000 was his spend with our fee and Google Ads. So it came out to $30 a lead. So just to back up here, so if you look at all the different channels here that you can that are available to you when marketing your brokerage there online, right? Your website, right? That's where it all begins. Your website and setting it up for conversion. You want to think about two things really: it's SEO and conversion, and then start to look at doing the stuff off the website that will help your SEO. Right? Many of you, I'm sure, have done SEO of some sort, but that's where you're going to have the biggest impact, right? That's going to get you in front of a lot of searchers in your market. And that doesn't happen overnight though, right? SEO takes time. And so there's things you can do. You can start to look at your citations or your listings around the web. They call them citations. And you want to look at the copy on your website, optimize that around SEO. There's a lot that goes into it, right? Are you blogging, right? How are you proactive with your reviews? This is all going to assist your SEO, right? Google Ads, right? There's no waiting here, right? We can set up you can hop on a call right now, set up a campaign and start getting traffic today. And there's things you have to pay attention to in Google Ads, right? There's going to be downsides to each one of these and upsides, right? The upside with Google Ads, right? There's no waiting. You can get traffic today. SEO, there's waiting, right? But the potential is huge, tons of visibility, tons more calls. And the other downside with SEO is you're stuck in your city. You can't really, you can't rank in another city organically that you don't have an office address in. And you have to have an office address. Google Ads, though, you're licensed throughout the state. You can market in any area. Doesn't matter. And some of the other items here, retargeting. Is anyone doing retargeting? Does anyone know what that is? Raise your hand if you've heard of that. If you've ever been to, Target and you've looked at a product there, I'm sure when you go to social media, you'll see that product pop up. That's retargeting, right? So paid online directories, you can pay for some placements in Yelp and other areas. How are you staying in touch with your past clients? Right? Do you have who's managing your database, right? Do you have an email going out to them? When it's their birthday, are you wishing them a happy birthday, right? Sending them a gift, right? Got to be on that stuff. And follow up with us. We'd be happy to help you. And then do you have some automation put in place, right? Are you following up with the lead within the first few minutes of them submitting that form? And if you're not, you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Get with us. We'll show you how it's done. But we've placed these in this order, right? Because the one that's going to have the biggest impact, right, are those first two, right? The SEO and the website. And the order of importance here, right? The reviews, I'm talking about the reviews. These are going to matter. People that are doing searches, they trust those online reviews as much as a personal recommendation. 7 out of 10 times, right? There's studies out there. 7 out of 10 times, people will believe that review as much as a personal recommendation. So spend some time on it. So if we go through this, so yeah, I have a checklist if anyone needs it. mortgagebrokermarketing.com/checklist. It'll go through, start checking off what you can and what you need to implement in your on your website, in your SEO, right? In your like, how do you rank on maps? Paid online directories. Are you running ads, right? Have you looked at the search terms report on there? What ads, what are people typing in to click your ad? Is it relevant for your business, right? You may be surprised. Are you doing social media? Are you leveraging marketing and automation and email marketing and automation? So action item for you guys, everyone hand up. What are the top 3 marketing initiatives that you need to implement in your business for your goal of 2023? Perfect. So do you guys hit those? Put them in the question and answer. What are the top 3 monthly newsletters? Okay. Yeah, that's money sitting in your database, right? Anyone else? We'll move on here. So what we've covered, we've set a clear goal. We looked at the fundamentals of your marketing success, right? The market, the message, and the media. Looked at how to optimize your website. Is everyone clear on that? Does anyone need a refresher there? I'd be happy to go back, talk more about it. Pop in your website into the question area, and I'll pull it up and we can review it. PPC is a good channel. There's some things you got to be aware of, and pay attention to the negative key terms that you don't want to show an ad for when you're showing ads, when you're doing ads. But yeah, we like to start those. We like to start those small and tight, and once we get it good, we can start to expand. So yeah, the big picture of all the online marketing channels you should be tapping into. We developed an action plan. If you did not write down, who did, raise your hand if you did not write down any 3 items that you need to update on your website, or if you did not come away with any tweaks that can be made on your website, or any tweaks that can be made in your online marketing strategy. And Mike, I see you've been doing some blogs, more SEO, but awesome. I'll be happy to I'll show you where we track some rankings and things like that. It's a tool called Bright Local. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but you can plug your website in, and I'd be happy, anyone that wants to schedule a time, go to the website, mortgagebrokermarketing.com/schedule, and we'll do a ranking report for you and look at some of your citations, your online visibility, and recommend some clear next steps for you. That is it. If anyone is interested, mortgagebrokermarketing.com/schedule. Please message me if you haven't got a copy of the book, Internet Marketing for Mortgage Brokers. We online everything we do for our clients in here. If anyone would like the copy, I'd be happy to send you one. Shoot me a note. I would need obviously your name, email. So drop me an email at brian@mortgagebrokermarketing.com. I'd be happy to get that book out to you. And so I think that's it for today. Let me know if anyone needs me. Hit me up, brian@mortgagebrokermarketing.com. Go to mortgagebrokermarketing.com/schedule. Schedule an acceleration session. And so happy everyone was here. Thank you, and we'll talk to you soon.